So this is just a quick overview of the data that we provide. So as per our conversation, what I did is I just grabbed a subset of the master data set for the Montney as the terminating zone. So essentially here's the metadata associated that we have for Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan. And the one is terminating zone, and that's going to tell us, essentially which terminating zone that we have. And then you can break it down. If we said, okay, we've got a campaign, we want to target the Montney, we can then come in and say, okay, who are the accounts? And this is the Montney in Alberta that I happen to be looking at this particular point. And so here's the accounts associated with it. And based on the data set, I just said since the beginning of the year, wells drilled, we get the descending list associated with that. We can look at the fields. So what are the primary fields associated with it? We can look at the substance. Maybe we're looking specifically for gas plays or oil plays. And then things like projected depth are all available for us on that side of it. So again, this is just a subset. We've got thousands of records. There's many terminating zones, but it gives you a good example of what we can do with regards to doing some market segmentation. One thing that we can append the data with is we've collected a large subset of facilities, and so what I did is I just took Kakwa, which happens to be the number one field in the Montney region, take a look at the facilities that we have, and then we see here a gas plant. We've got it broken down. G is gas, oil is O is oil, C is condensate, water. So we can work out some percentages and tie this to the actual well data to say, hey, there's a good chance that this is, this percentage gas, this percentage oil, this percentage condensate, this percentage water, percentage we got, and as well as sulfur. So if that's information that can help you identify it. We don't know that specifically for that well, but we're going to make the assumption based on location. And then we also have a frac database. I've said here it's relatively static. The data is about a year old, but again, we can bring some stuff over to the well data looking at the unique identifier, so we know who the account name is, we know what field that they're going in, so on and so forth, roughly what the terminating zone is, and then we could come in here and do some speculation, some averages, how many stages are they looking for, what kind of sand are they using, those types of things. If that information is of interest to you, this is a little bit more work than bringing in the production data because it's a much smaller set of data, and we've done some preliminary work on that side of it. Just one quick show here. When we look at it from a Salesforce perspective, obviously I'm a big advocate of putting this information in the database. So when we look at our account records, I can come in and I can say, hey, I want to go in. So if I'm saying I want to target companies in the say the Montney region, I could come in here and I can select that as an option. There's a list of all the Montney accounts that have been drilling in the Montney region, and also other areas that they're drilling in. I can come in and I can look at the account record itself. Of course, I've got the contacts that we want to go to, but we can also drill down from a reporting perspective, and I could say, things that I'm interested in. What's their well licenses looking like? What's their spud activity? Is it trending down? Is it trending up? What areas are they in? What fields are they in? So on and so forth. So I can break it down account specific to help me do some preparation as I go into the sales call. So that's an example of what we can do with the data if we put it inside of Salesforce.com.